again. We meet this time with the lectures on God and Creation Age. The topic is the Sufis. Now, we are continuing from the last lecture, that is history. And from the history, you can see Islam at that point of time. You can see there are three groups: the Sharia people, the Tariqats, and the Sufis. So, Sharias are those who follow the tenets as laid down by Allah as guidance for the Muslims. You can see here the Sharia, according to this Imam from Al-Haramain, he said that there was a consensus that in future the Muslims are to follow the four Imams, the resolutions of the four Imams, that is the Shafi'i, Maliki, Hanafi, and Hanbali. This resolution was made in the 4th century Hijriah, and this Ibn Salah confirmed that at that point of time the emphasis is that it's mandatory to adhere to the four Imams. And since then and until today, Muslims follow this four school of law: the Hanafi, the Shafi'i, Hanbali, and Maliki. Okay? Since then, the door of Ijtihad, there cannot be any more new resolutions or any problems. Revert to the four schools, the resolution from the four schools that had already been inclusive and exclusive. So there shall be nothing more. So anything, go back to the book of the four school and check with the four school. So since then, the door of Ijtihad, brainstorming to find a resolution, was closed, and thereafter the practitioners of jurisprudence were satisfied just to adhere to the four Imams and the four schools. And that has been the practice until today. Any problems in religion, revert to the books of the four schools. And since then, the Muslim neglects the Al-Quran and As-Sunnah and relies solely on the book of the four schools as guidance. This brought about generation of adherents until today. So this is the Muslim today. They are the adherents of the taqlid of the four mazhab. Right? So that is the position of the Sharia people, that now these four schools are flourishing all over the world. Okay? As for the Tariqat, you can see that in the course of the past, sometimes you see personality took a tumble. What happened was, people have been practicing this Tariqat movement for a long time, and many could not attain the goal, and many become bewildered, confused, dejected, depressed, and so on, because it looks like it's dormant. You cannot proceed ahead. It's a dead end. Nothing come out of it. So people are sick after many years in Tariqat and not achieving their dreams or their goal. So you can see here, your mentality become confused and physically you are exhausted. And when your sophistic training or Tariqat training and endeavor to dominate your desire did not brought about the desired knowledge, then you will languish in destructive hallucination, which will satisfy your lustful desire for a prolonged period until your time is up. And yet that which you crave for is still elusive to you. The people become bored, disappointed, frustrated. They could not achieve the goal that they had been walking in this line for umpteen years. Nothing fruitful of it. So Tariqat is now a has passed its golden era. No more people sort of it, sick of it. People are giving up. Those who are they are giving up. Many of the Sufis treading this path were hallucinated for a period reaching up to 20 years. If only at the outset they have good knowledge of religion, the falsity of their hallucination will have been dawned upon them. So the tariqat now, there's no more glamour, no more attraction. People who are in this path also are giving up, and tariqat is dormant, not proceeding anyway. So the last group is the Sufis. The problem with the Sufis is the elusive elite, the teacher. In tariqat you call murshid, but in this Sufism you call them the elites of God. And they are very elusive. You don't know them at all. Very difficult to find them. That's why it was said by Ahmad Rifai, it was said that Imam Ahmad Rifai said, hurry post haste in the search for the guidance of the elites of God before their demise. Look for them. But how to look for them? There is no sign for tariqat. You can go to particular places and these people can show you where there is this tariqat groups and you can join them. It's everywhere. But for these Sufis, the way of the prophets, and these elites, the elites is very difficult to locate. Okay, so you see here, those in this group possess divine knowledge. Yes, the elites, they have this divine knowledge and the signs of Allah with them. Their minds become the warehouse of exclusive divine knowledge, and they are given to understand the divine secrets which God gave to none. Allah has chosen them, and they are divine bosom. Allah shall empty their mind to receive all divine secrets and enhanced knowledge. Allah shall make them a beacon to guide peoples to the right path and to hinder them from committing sins and waywardness. They shall be the elites of God. They are rightly guarded. They can assist the righteous and affirm their righteousness. They are like a deputy, prophet, and messengers of God. They receive divine guidance and assistance all the time. Yes, this special group, special people, the elites that can guide people to the truth. Elites that have the divine secret with them. Elites that have the enhanced knowledge, or even know the secret, the divine secrets. But they are elusive, very difficult to find one. You may end up with the wrong one. Allah will endow them with great knowledge, and it shall be revealed to them all the divine secrets. They shall have only Allah in their mind and shall be divinely inspired. Yes. But how to find them? So you see how difficult for Moses to find Khidir here. So they found one our servant Khidir, on whom we had bestowed mercy from ourselves and whom we had taught knowledge from our present. How did Moses finally located Khidir? If not for divine assistance, no way you can find him. You see here, said the servant, the one that followed followed Moses, he said, would thou believe it, when we betook ourselves to that rock for rest, we were resting at the rock there, what happened is I forgot about the fish, but the fish jumped out of the basket and escaped into the water. See? And that was the sign that God had told Moses, where the fish jump up, and that you can find Khidir. Now, if without divine guidance there, to find this elusive elites of God that can guide one to the righteous path and to receive the enhanced knowledge or the secret of divine secret from Him, is just not attainable, because you can't find Him. Very difficult. And that's why Imam Ahmad Rafi say, look for them before their demise. But to look for them, how do we know? They don't put any signboard. I'm an elite of God. No. You don't see everybody, you see everybody walk around you, and you can't say whether these people are here. The same thing, the elites are not identifiable. You don't know which one. They are people like Hidir, very elusive. But if you got one, hang on to him. Don't let go. As Imam Ahmad Rafi said, look for them before their demise. Okay? The same is Uwais Al-Qarnain. Nobody knows him. Only gods, the angel, know him. This is another elite of God. So it's not easier. This is the problem of the way of the Prophet, to find the elites. The Sufi, the real Sufi that can guide you. Very elusive. There is no place, no identifiable spot or whatnot that can tell you you can find an elite of God there. So the first problem for those Sufi who are looking for this knowledge or helps, assistance spiritually, to find this elite of God. And they are very elusive. Okay? And they are, these elites, they are in communication with Allah all the time. And when they enter a marketplace or town, they always have with affection, prayers and supplication for the good of the people therein. So everywhere they bring blessing, wherever they go. Okay? Now, I can't help you all to identify these elusive elites of God that can guide one to the true path. But I can tell you that this elite of God can guide you to achieve the knowledge of God. Because those who do not have the knowledge of God are not the elites of God. So they have this knowledge, okay? And they can help you, okay, to guide you to achieve the knowledge of God, or Marifatullah. So, what Allah blessing, he shall be a party to all divine mystery. With Allah's blessing, he shall be a party to all divine mystery and knowledge. So he knows the mystery, divine mystery, yes, and the knowledge too. They shall be divinely guided, inspired all the time. Now, among those whom we have created, there are people who guide others in the way of the truth and act justly in the light. So these are the elites of God. So they have this knowledge of God, the Marifatullah, and they can guide people to achieve this properly and rightly. Okay, so that is the first thing. They have this knowledge of God, Marifatullah, and they can impart this knowledge to others who wants to learn from him. But you have to find him first. Okay, and for the Sufis, once you have the knowledge of God, you become a Sufi, your perception will be different. Number one, you see this, you see a golf ball rolled down into the hole, the one in the hole they call it, or you see a goal being scored, or you see human walking in town, or animal running on the field, or fish in the sea, or you can see the trees growing up. Now, this view you will see as I had spoken just now, just like that. But a real Sufi, when they see all that, first they see Loh Mahfuz. Loh Mahfuz is the divine plan, master plan. Loh Mahfuz. Why they see Loh Mahfuz? Because Allah has said all things we have kept in a clear register, Loh Mahfuz. No misfortune can happen on earth or in your soul, but it's recorded in a decree before we bring it into existence. So the golf ball entering into the hole, or the soccer ball entered into the goal post, or the trees growing up, the fish in the river, the animal on the fields, and mankind in town walking around. All these have their plan in the Loh Mahfuz. The planning there, the plan, they are already in the plan, and then they become reality. So it's like tomorrow become today. So tomorrow they are still in the pipeline, the plan, and today they become reality. So what I'm saying is that the golf ball roll into the hole because it is already in the plan before it manifested or become reality. Before it become reality, the goal entered the goal post is already in the plan before it become reality. Same the fish swimming in the river, all that, or in the sea, is already in the plan. The trees growing up in the plan, the animal runs around in the plan, human walk in the plan before it become reality. So it happened, all this, the golf ball entered into the hole, the goal entered the goal post. These are already in the plan. It's not because the soccer player has the technique or the skill to kick the bowling ball, to kick the soccer ball into the goal post. It's not the brilliance of the skill of the golfer to hit the golf ball into the hole. No, it is because it's already in the plan that the golf ball will enter the hole, the goal will go into the goal post. Already in the plan. In the plan that you walk this way, that way, to where, and so on. The fish swimming in the sea, in the water, animals walking on the plain, and so on. All this in the plan. You see, so what a real Sufi, when they see something, their perception is definitely different from an ordinary person. They see this and they knew these are already in the plan, or the Loh Mahfuz. Okay? And secondly, what they see is the essence. The essence is the manifest and the hidden. They see all the trees, in actual fact, the essence in manifestation. The animal, the fish, the human being, the golfer, the golf ball, the soccer player, all these are the essence. The essence. So not only their eyes saw the Loh Mahfuz, their eyes also saw the essence. And the essence makes sure that the act comply with the Loh Mahfuz. So you see, it is not you who slew them. It was Allah. When thou threwest, it was not thy act, but Allah. So what Allah is saying, everything done by you is not done by you, is by the essence. the essence that manifested to become you. Whatever thing you see before you, whatever action, whatever it is, all is done by the essence. So that's why Allah said to the Prophet, it's not you who kill, or even though the Prophet who shot the arrow, it's me. Who? The essence. Okay. So that's why Imam Ghazali said, he who knows himself and his God will surely know that he himself that does not exist. That exists is the essence hidden and manifest into creations. So when a Sufi look at something, their perception is different. First thing, they see Law Mahfuz at play. Secondly, they see the essence played according to what had been written in the Law Mahfuz. I mean, to ensure whatever in the Law Mahfuz shall be done. And that's the work of the essence. Thirdly, the Sufis will see the orders, his orders, that everything conform to God's order. See, that's why Allah is besought by all, eternally besought by all, because everything depends on Him, His order. Okay. If you find their rejection hard to hear, that is the Prophet when he wants to bring the Qurayshi to become believers, they rejected him, and God said, you find it hard to receive their rejection, then seek a tunnel into the earth or stairways into heaven and bring them a sign. They won't budge, they still will reject him. That's why God says, had God will, He could have gathered them to guidance, so do not be of the ignorant. That means, you see, what you see is what God desires, not us. So you see the rambutan, this color, the durian, this color, the pineapple, this color, the banana, this color. Why not all one color? Right? Why multiple colors? Different colors for every food, different. Why? Because that is what the order that God wants. He wants it that way. So you have multiple colors for fruits. He wants it that way. So a Sufi, when he sees something, that he sees first the Law Mahfuz, the plan, everything according to plan. Then the essence that makes sure the plan is complied with. Thirdly, everything done according to God's order. Right? That's the way He wants it, not what we want it. Right? So, and this also shows that Allah, God is all-knowing. Verily, He is subtle, aware. What it means that you have learned behind the features is the essence. The manifest is the essence, the manifest is the features, the hidden is the essence. But behind the essence is the subtle. That means tiny weeny bit of the Allah self. And that from that where the essence comes from. That's why subtle. Subtle but encompasses everything. So behind the features is the essence. Behind the essence is the subtle. That is that little tiny weeny bit of Allah's self is the source of the essence. Okay? So that's why Imam Ghazali said, you know yourself, you know your God, you do not exist. Okay. So then apart from this, you can see their acumen. For example, so once they have these perceptions, and when they started to read the Al-Quran, with the perceptions that they have. Their acumen is not like ordinary people. Because remember, God has given them to know the divine secret. God has also given them the enhanced knowledge. And their spiritual eyes are open. So, with this, their acumen, when they read the Quran, become very sharp. And that's where they learn about the secrets and the mystery, the divine mystery that's hidden in the words of the Quran. For example, they know there will be second Armageddon. They know, but it's not stated in the book or even in the Sunnah. It is never stated that there will be a second Armageddon. But for Sufi, because of their acumen based on the knowledge and the guidance of God, and that they know the divine secret, they see a second Armageddon. By look of it, see, their Lord announces to them good news of mercy from Him, and acceptance and garden wherein they will have lasting bliss. Lasting bliss. That means you're going to stay forever, eternally in heaven, in paradise. But to the Sufi, this cannot be. Why cannot be? Because only Allah does not have a beginning or an end. But to all His creation, He gives them a beginning and an end. So it cannot be that you will dwell in paradise forever, then you become eternal. So you have beginning but no end. So for Sufi, they understood this. They have the enhanced knowledge. So they know, and they keep on searching the Quran, and they find. There to remain for as long, that means you are in paradise, remain there to as long as the heaven and earth endure. That means as long there is the earth and the sky of paradise, you can stay in paradise. Right? But once this is destroyed, you are also gone. Okay? Unless your Lord wills otherwise, or your Lord carries out whatever your Lord carries out whatever He wills. So this surah it tells you that you won't be in paradise forever and ever. One day, the paradise, the sky and earth of paradise, and including ourselves, will be destroyed. Because we cannot be forever. Only Allah. At the end, He's alone again forever. Okay? So, knowing this, the Sufis will tell you there is second Armageddon. Qiyamah. If there is no second Armageddon, then we will be eternal. We are beginning but no end. So it cannot be. Okay? So because of their perception, they become acute. They can see this reasoning in the Quran. Okay? And also the question of trust. We did offer the trust to the heaven and earth and the mountain, but they refused to undertake it, being afraid thereof. But man undertook it. He was indeed unjust and foolish. Now we see here, what is the trust? Many of the people say, oh, the trust is to ensure the earth will be safe and sound. But that's ridiculous. If that is the case, why doesn't the earth took that task, looking after itself? No, some say our duty to take care of the environment. Well, if that is the case, why don't the earth took it? Because taking care of itself. But they do not want, and this proves that that trust is not with regard to keeping the earth safe. No. Okay. So the Sufis, because of their acumen, they look at the Quran deeper, and they found this, and I created the jinn and humankind only that they might worship me. Okay. So how this relate to that? Because and now Muhammad is not the father of any man among you, but he is the messenger of Allah and the seal of the prophet. Okay, so there won't be any more prophets. So what about the verse that I read that Allah created jinn and mankind to worship him? There are still a lot of unbelievers, and up there in outer space they are plenty full of Satan, that Rasulullah had said that to effect that 9 of them equal to we 1. That means 9 of them the ratio 9 to 1. 9 of them we are 1. That how many there are in the earth up there in outer space. So you can see, and who will bring them back to fold? Because Rasulullah is the last prophet, nothing else, and nobody else will come after him as a new prophet. Behold, thy Lord said to an angel, I will create a vicegerent on earth. And behold, we said to angels, bow down to Adam, and they bow down. He it is who had placed you as vicegerent of the earth. Yes, Allah has appointed us as the vicegerent or Khalifa on earth. But then Allah had said, remember, I created jinn and mankind to worship me. So there are a lot of unbelievers. How do Allah make sure that everyone become believers and all will worship him? To fulfill his command that I create jinn and mankind to worship me. Okay. Now, thanks to demography, right? Where demography is where society have to have a 2.1 birth rate in order to rejuvenate itself. Below that 1.9, 1.6, 1.3. Then you cannot rejuvenate yourself. The country will disappear. Okay, the demography means the ratio of death and birth. If the ratio of birth is so high, then you can rejuvenate your society or your community or your country. But if the birth rate is so low, death rate is so high, you can't replace the one who died, not enough people. That is where, you will be annihilated. You cannot, your country did not rejuvenate yourself, then you will disappear. Okay? That is the demography. Okay? So, in demography, we learn that sooner or later, the whole world is an Islamic world. The whole world become an Islamic world. And so the first part of the command of Allah, I created mankind to worship me, that is clear. Through demography, all the unbelievers will die, and that will be the believers. Because why the unbelievers will die, all of them? Because the birth rate is going into 0 and -0. So the death will not be replaced, and therefore the country will flounder. But in Islam, you have more birth than death. So we rejuvenate our society, and our society will then control the empty countries of the West, because death rate is higher than birth rate. So that demography. So in the end, the whole world become Muslim world. Okay, and After that, Allah said, the sky is your roof, a canopy, go up, right? Go up, he said, go up. But, he said, we have opened to them a gateway to heaven, go up. And they had ascended on and on up to it. And ye assembly of jinns and men, you can pass beyond the zone of the heaven and the earth. Pass ye not without power. So God hinted, if you are going to go to outer space, to all this earth up there, we must have power. Okay. So why did God want us to go to the outer space? You see? So remember, we reflect back, right? He created jinn and mankind to worship him, right? How he want to ensure that what he has commanded will become the truth, that true jinn and mankind really worship him. See, so he wants to prove that what he said will be fulfilled. So through democracy, mankind will become Muslim, all of them, in maybe 100 years' time or a little bit more. The whole world become Muslim world, and therefore mankind worship him. What about the jinn? And that is where we come in. There is no more prophet to be sent. So who will guide these jinns to our faith? Who? That's why we are appointed as his vicegerent, Khalifa. And the trust that is given to us, that the mountain, the valley, and sky did not want to accept, is that to bring back Satan and Iblis, Satan and their kind, back to worship God. And this fulfill Allah's command that I created jinn and jinni, but to worship me. Okay? So, once, the earth, the whole world become Muslim worlds, that left the jinni, so we have to go up to bring them back to fold. And that is where Allah say, the outer space is your roof, Go up with power. And then fight them. Fight whom? Fight the Satans up there. And Allah said, and fight them until persecution is no more and religion is all for Allah. Because the Satans up there worship their God by the name of Taghut. Yeah? But Allah say, attack them, and fight them until the religion is all for Allah. Okay? And the other verse, and fight them until persecution is no more, but religion for Allah. That's it. So we have to go fight them, bring them to fold. And this is what Allah says. Let there be no compulsion in religion. So after we conquered them, these Satans, all that in the outer space, in the planet up there, once we have captured their countries, so Allah say, to guide them, don't use compulsion for them to become believers, right? But what you do, let there be no compulsion in religion. Truth stands out clear from error. Whoever rejects Taghut, that is the god of the Satans up there, called Taghut, okay, and believe in Allah, had grasped the most trustworthy handhold that never breaks. So, if the Satans give up on their Taghut and come back to fold, worship Allah, this is a bond that will never be severed. Okay, but you have to give up your previous worship just hang on to Allah. You see? So, but you see, this verse is for the Satan, not for human beings. You see the word, there is no compulsion in religion. This verse is meant for the Satans. Okay? And if you give up Taghut, that is their worship, the satanic worship, God will give them Jannah, paradise. So we have to go up there, fight them, and then guide them. Guide them, as Allah say, invite to the ways of thy Lord with wisdom. Yeah, see, invite them with wisdom, beautiful preaching, and sign, and argue with them in ways that are best and most gracious. So we guide them not through hard mean or harshness. No, we guide them, with wisdom, beautiful teaching. All right, and then if you argue in the best way. Okay, so that is how we will manage to bring them back to fold. Okay, no compulsion. But one thing, the verse is for them. You see, if they stop worshipping Taghut, this verse is for the jinns. Okay, and so we attack them and we bring them back to fold and become believers. And this is what Allah say: surely I know that which you know not. When the Satan objected to Allah appointing us as his vicegerent, Allah said, I know what you don't know. And this proof also that in the end we brought them to fall and worship Allah once again. That is why Allah say, I know what you know not. So here, behold, thy Lord said to the angels, behold, thy Lord said to the angel, I will create a vicegerent on earth. They said, will thou place therein one who will make mischief therein and shed blood, whilst we do celebrate thy praises and glorify thy holy name. And Allah said, I know what you know not. So they objected to the mankind being the vicegerent or Khalifa of Allah. They say, why you appoint them, not us? We are the one who are very pious. Feel piety to you, and you appointed the humankind. Why you do that? Well, Allah said, you know not why I know. Okay? So in the end, it was us that bring them back to fold. And that show proof that what Allah has appointed is correct. Okay? So, so that is the why. What is the trust that Allah gave, and what is our duty, and why we should go to the outer space and so on. Why God give us a lot of equipments and know-how to make sure that we can go into paradise. For the Sufis, because their acumen, they can understand it. Why Allah did that. Okay, because to bring to fold the Satans. Okay, so the Sufis, their perception, their knowledge, definitely different from Sharia. Okay, the Sufis and the Sharia. So the twins set out till when they were in the ship, he made the hole. That means when Moses and Hidir, because Moses wanted to learn from Hidir. Remember, Moses was more inclined to Sharia. Hidir in more to Sufism. So when both of them set out together, Hidir punched a hole in the ships at the beach there. So what did Musa say? Hast thou made a hole therein to drown the faults thereof? Thou verily hast done a grievous wrong. See, the eyes of the Sharia inclined Moses could only see something and put forward the punishment. Okay? Everything wrong must be punished. So how can you break holes into people's ships? You have done a grievous wrong. You should be punished. That's how Moses looked at it. Moses is more inclined to Sharia. Okay? And see again. Then they proceeded until they met a young man, and then Khidr killed the young man. And Moses said, "Hast thou slain an innocent person who had slain none? Truly foul, unheard of thing hast thou done." So you can see also here that Moses could not take it that he did kill a young man. So just now he did make holes to the ships. Now he did kill a young man. I say that is preposterous that you can do all this against Sharia. It's wrong, against the law. No? See? He's objecting, okay, because he's inclined to Sharia. It's difficult when you're inclined to Sharia to pass judgment to people who are Sufis. You don't understand them. You don't have their perception, their knowledge. So you cannot pass judgment on the Sufis if you are in the Sharia. You cannot understand them. And this is what happened. He did have said to Moses, "You want to learn from me? You will not be able because you don't have the patience." True enough. If Moses has the perception of a Sufi, he won't interfere what he did. Because remember, Imam Ghazali said, if you know yourself, you know God, you don't exist. So you don't exist, you have nothing to say. Okay. So it is definitely different. People are inclined to Sharia and Sufism. One has to respect one's boundaries. If you in the Sharia, do not comment on the Sufism, because you have no knowledge how a Sufi should be. As mentioned, you must achieve the enlightenment, that is the knowledge of God, and be able to teach. And then you have follow-up that he received, a Sufi will receive the divine secret, divine knowledge, whatnot, all that. And they are truly guided. They will guide others who are looking for this path. Okay, so the Sufi is different. Sharia is different. There's a gap. Sharia cannot criticize a Sufi because they do not know how a Sufi should be, and that's why he did say, "I did it not of my own accord." Because for Sharia people, they look at two existent, God and him, two existent. But for Tasawwuf, they don't see, they don't exist. They don't exist. So no question that they do it or they didn't do it. No, they don't. That exists is the essence, manifest and hidden. And that's what Allah says. It's not you who kill Prophet, it's I. That is his Zat. Okay. But this is a perception of the Sufis, not the Sharia. So it's difficult for us to work together with Sharia if they keep on passing judgment. Difficult. Okay? And as I said, Syekh Abdul Qadir Jalani say, the elites of God, they are the warehouse of God knowledge. Okay? They are. They will receive divine secrets. They will receive divine guidance all the time. Okay? So you can see, and thou canst, and how can thou have patience about things about which thy understanding is not complete? So Sharia people, please do not try to go into the area of Sufism if you don't have that perception and understanding of it. Because to cross over, you are encroaching into their area. Okay? So you should not pass a remark or judgment, whatever, on a Sufi unless you a Sufi yourself. When you remain in Sharia, you don't want the Sufi, so right with them. Okay? So that's different, Sharia and the people of the Sufis. You see, you cannot be patient. You don't understand this knowledge. How you can be patient? Right? Unless you can understand this knowledge or the perception of the Sufis and the knowledge of God they have, then you can talk on level field. Otherwise, cannot. So it's better for you to keep your view or criticism against a Sufi, unless you your Sufi itself, then you can. If not, you cannot pass any judgment fatwa against a Sufi, because you are in two different fields of specialization. Okay, and if you understand this, and this is what he did say, this is the parting between you and me. So I would like to summarize whole thing. The people of the Sharia, forget about the tariqat, they are dormant now. People of the Sharia can never understand people of the Sufis. Because, as I mentioned earlier, the Sufis have their own perception. They see the Loh Mahfuz, they see the essence, they see the order of God, and they see God all omnipresent, omni-hearing, omni-seeing all the time. Okay. So if they see anything that's come to their mind, the Loh Mahfuz divine plan, and they see the essence at play and the order the gods want to be. Okay, Sharia don't see this, so it's difficult. And if you accept that person is elite of God, this Syekh Abdul Qadir Jalani said, these are people who receive divine secrets, receive divine knowledge. So these people see things that you did not see. So you see he did punch a hole in the ship. You see he did kill a boy. That's what you see. But Sharia people look differently. That he did kill because it's in the Loh Mahfuz. It must be done. How it must be done? Because the essence behind all that exists, okay, and that we do not exist. Okay. So, apart from these two, they see also the order of God. God, what is that way? The essence makes sure it complies with. Okay. And they also learn the mystery and secret, divine secret and mysteries open up to them. How a Sharia people want to understand the Tasawwuf people? And if you accept that person is elites of God, that can help guided people, then you must also be ready to accept that he is open to divine secrets and enhanced knowledge. Allah will guide him. So when he speak of something he got from this divine knowledge or inspiration, he got it, the divine secret and mysteries, he learned about it. When he spoke about it, you will never find it in the Quran or the Sunnah, because this is the divine secret. It's not listed in the Quran or the Sunnah. You cannot say they are unbeliever or all that. You can't. You have to accept divine secret and divine knowledge open to him. So that's why he can see the second Armageddon. And he tell you the reference and the logic of it. Okay? He told you about what is the trust and so forth and so forth. If he is the elites of God, then what he said are the divine secret and divine mystery open up to him, not to others, but only to him. And whatever he spoke from this divine knowledge and divine guidance, inspiration, it may be difficult for you to swallow if you are not in the Sufism. But people in the Sufism understood what he said, and they have no problem about it. So it's wrong for Ahli Syariah to criticize the Ahli Tasawwuf, because you yourself is not familiar what is Ahli Tasawwuf. Okay? There are people who receive divine secret and mystery from God. Okay? So that's why they say this is a parting between us. You go your way, I go your way. That's it. For Sharia people, you stay on your side of the fence. The Tasawwuf also the other side of the fence. But notwithstanding, both parties must comply with the Sharia as laid down by court for every ummah. Okay? Notwithstanding that, that means the people of the Sufis also must worship God. Similarly, the non-Sufi also the same. Okay, so no different on that, except as the perception different. So, as I again maintain that the Sharia people cannot pass judgment on the Sufis because they don't understand them. If they understand, they can be like Junaid al-Baghdadi, a Sufi, and sentenced to death another Sufi, Mansur al-Halaj. Similarly, Wali Songo, a Sufi, sentenced to death another Sufi, Shaykh Siti Janah. Okay. So remember, Sharia and Tasawwuf, two different fields. There's a gap between them. So the Sharia should not cross this gap to lecture to the Tasawwuf. And the Tasawwuf should not bother the Sharia unless they require help. So this is, I will stop here and we'll continue next time. Thank you for listening.